Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Hemali here, and thank you guys for joining me in another video. In this video, I'm going to go through 5 tips to grow your social media following, especially if you're a beginner and just starting off your page. These 5 things are what I focused on when I first started growing my page. And then as I learned and developed my brand, I started adding in more techniques that I learned along the way to help further develop my brand. But for now, I feel like these 5 tips will help get you started. Tip number 1, find your niche and then continue to grow on it. So what I mean by that is find a smaller audience that has a specific set of interests or characteristics and really try to capture their attention. Once you've captured their attention, you can move on to the next group that might have a different set of similar interests and characteristics within each other and start creating content for them to also capture them into your audience. And as you do that, you just build your audience with different groups of people that eventually grow into a bigger following. Now, the way you can figure out what your niche is by creating a bunch of different content that speaks to you, that you enjoy creating, and post it and see what sticks. So for example, if I've posted pictures of my outfits and also my makeup and also my hair, and I notice that my makeup content is doing really well, start with that niche and start targeting people that like makeup. And then later on, you can always grow your brand into including things like fashion and hair and lifestyle and whatever else you want. And if you already know what your niche is and what you want your page to be, so for example, if you already know that you want to be a makeup page, then make sure you solely focus on doing makeup related content. Don't be posting random other things of like your food or your dog or whatever else. Make sure the page is solely related to makeup. And even if you have a specific niche category that you want to be in, so for example, makeup, you can break that down into further niches. For example, you can do makeup for South Asian women, special effects makeup, more fashion editorial makeup. You should really try to break it down as far as you can and grasp as many small audiences as you can and build on them. I know everyone wants to be an overnight success, but that's not really how it works. You need to start off small and then grow on it. Very few people are overnight successes. Very few people go viral like right away. So do not, blame yourself for not having that happen to you because it's not very realistic. It's more of like a snowball effect. You start off with a small snowball and then just keep rolling, and as it rolls down the hill, it turns into a giant snowball. And a great example of this is Amazon. They started off by selling books and look at where they are now. It's absolutely crazy. Tip number 2, and I think this is a tip that everyone hears all the time, but you have to be consistent. You can't just post once in a while and expect your page to grow. For me personally, I post every single day. I know that's not realistic for everyone, but what I would say is you need to at least try to post every other day. And if you can, post multiple times a day. Now, with that being said, make sure that you are posting quality content consistently and not just anything. I have people say to me all the time, like, I post every day, but I don't see anything growing. And the quality of your content really does matter, because if you're just posting whatever and people aren't engaging with it or don't really like it, then what's the point of you posting every single day? The quality of your content is really important, and it goes hand in hand with your consistency. You don't want to be consistently pushing out shitty content, because who wants to look at shitty content? Now, if you can't produce quality content all the time, that's okay. Just make sure the quality of your content is really high and that you're posting somewhat consistently at least, right? Because people will understand if it took a lot of work to make one post, you can't be pushing out that level of quality all the time. So for example, people that do like special effects videos and things like that, that takes a lot of time to produce. So you're obviously not going to push out a video a day. That might be really hard. But if you're pushing out a video maybe like once a week or twice a week, you want to make sure that the quality of that video is really high and really engaging and really creative. And you especially want to be super consistent if you've had a post that did really well or even went viral. Because when you have a post that does something like that, the likelihood of people looking at your other posts is very high. So you want to make sure that you're consistently pushing out content so that people are engaging with other posts and seeing your page more. You're getting a lot of traction, and those posts by default will more likely get pushed out onto the explore page or to other people's feeds, whatever it is, just by default, because it's kind of riding off the back of the post that went viral. Tip number 3, and this is something that I see people slack on all the time, and that is engaging with your audience. Take the time to respond to people. It is so important to do that because these are the people that are out here supporting you, showing you love, and the least you can do is just take the time to thank them or respond to their question or whatever it is. Now, as you get bigger, it is harder to keep up with all those messages, but still try your best to respond to as many people as you can. It takes a few seconds, and it does end up meaning the world to a lot of people that have taken the time to engage with your content. This is how you build a really loyal fan base, and these are also the same people that are probably spreading the awareness of your work. Tip number 4, make sure your content is engaging or relatable or just super different and unique and creative. The goal of this is to increase your engagement and make your content shareable. If you're posting something that's really relatable or super creative and like out of the box, the chances of it being shared are very, very high. Now, not everyone has the luxury of doing something like that. For example, I don't find my content to be like out of this world creative, but I will try to make my content engaging. And what I mean by that is creating content that kind of inclines people to engage with your content. So for example, one thing that I really like to do is share a question in my caption. This gets the audience thinking, and it also kind of inclines them to comment on my post answering the question. And that way your engagement level increases. A great way to do that is giving people options. I find that I get a lot of engagement when I tell people to choose between option 1 or 2. And sometimes you can't think of a question, so what I like to do with my captions is talk about something that's relatable, and then I ask people what their opinion is about this topic. So again, it just creates a way for them to engage with you a little bit more. Rather than you just like posting something and hoping it gets likes, this kind of gives your audience a little extra nudge to engage with your content. And remember, engagement isn't all about just likes and comments. They also include things like saves and shares. Tip number 5, make sure you're very mindful of what your thumbnail or cover photo looks like. Your thumbnail or your cover photo is what's going to really capture your audience's attention, especially if it's on something like the Explore page or recommended page. You want someone to see that thumbnail and be interested enough to actually click on that post. People are going through hundreds and hundreds of posts on their Explore page every day, so you need to make sure that the first thing that they see when it comes to your post is something that's engaging or creative, just something that you think that your audience will find clickable. A lot of times I see people will like make a video, for example, and their cover photo is just like black, it's like blank, or it's like something that's just very, very not interesting, and then they wonder why their videos don't do that well. It's because if it does show up on the Explore page or whatever it is, people don't really know what it is, so they don't really care to click on it. So yeah, just make sure that your cover photo is interesting. And I know I said I was gonna give 5 tips, but I have one last bonus tip, and that is stop comparing yourself to other people. A lot of people will start comparing themselves to other people and just start putting themselves down, being like, oh, well, so-and-so grew their page so fast, and why am I still in the same position? And my content's so much better than theirs. I don't understand why I'm not doing better, and so on and so forth. All that ever does for you is it drains your energy and it makes you lose focus. It really ends up taking away your time from creating and focusing on your business and helping that grow. And instead, it just stunts your growth because you're so worried about someone else. It's honestly okay to look at other people and see what they're doing and be like, wow, like I would love to be there one day, but do not sit there and compare yourself, because that's really just not going to do you any good. Everyone has their own journey. For some people, things happen faster than others, but you also don't know what else that other person is dealing with in their life. Maybe their career is taking off, but they don't have the best family life. Whereas vice versa for you, maybe you have an amazing family life, but your career isn't taking off right away. So really stop comparing yourself. It doesn't make a difference. Anyways, guys, I really hope those 5 tips helped you out. And if you have any other questions or comments about how I run my business, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to make more videos like this. And if you did like this video, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support you guys constantly show me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!